We take you straight away to talking points, and today we'll be having as guest JATO Richard. He is a freelance journalist in Babanda, Northwest region. We'll be talking about the Prime Minister's visit. Good evening to you, JATO Derrick, and welcome.
Thank you, Innocent. Bakwa town has been very beautiful today. We got up this morning with very beautiful weather, sunny, and of course all activities have been going on with taxi drivers, people going to their job site, and of course, you know, school children are on holiday, so many kids are either in the farms or with their parents, some around market area, trying to assist the parents. So I can say Abakwa town today have been relatively calm. I know when people ask how is Abakwa, you want to hear that there are gunshots, people are shooting left and right, but I think by the grace of God today has been blessed. It's been a nice day today.
Well, we'll also be finding out from you if you have used the Babaju Babanda roads recently. What's the situation?
Work in Babanda is honestly an apology. It's not the best. It's for the past 7 years that in Babanda town, you know, there have been a lot of cry about the nature of the road, potholes left and right, you know, people, taxi drivers, bike riders, pedestrians have been going through a lot of hardship with regards to the road network. It's true that from time to time you get the city, the Babanda City Council, the Delegation of Public Works, they come up with some repairs on the Commercial Avenue stretch, the Mile 2 stretch, and of course the Sonat Street, but this usually lasts just some few weeks or months, and then we go back to the same, permit me use the word wahala. So the town is really going through a lot of sufferings as far as the routes of the network routes in Babanda is concerned. And of course, the cry of every Babanda man is the road. It's really an apology. Many taxi drivers need to change their tires several times a week. You know, so many parents find it difficult to catch up with time at work because there is, you know, the traffic jam that is very continuous, mindful of the very poor nature of the road. But promises are usually being made and the expectations have been there. It's getting to the 7th year today. The population is still believing and hoping that something better would be done for the old glory days of Babanda as far as the roads are concerned to come back. But I can't, I would not be honest to completely say that is the entire Babanda. Like upstation in some places around the Babanda 3 around Quen, where the mayor of the Babanda 3 have done some good road network out there. Up towards the Babanda 1, they still enjoy some good road network, but around the Babanda 2, it's really, come and see, it's an apology. The Commercial Avenue remains as beautiful because it has been like that. Cow Street stretch, yes, but Sonat Street, the Ayaba Street, the Mile 2 junction, right down to the Amumezam stretch, all of that has been a nightmare. This is the main street I'm talking about. But when you have to talk about roads into the quarters, you know, it's really an apology. Coupled with the garbage, you know, so many persons find it difficult getting into the paths to their homes. That is why it's now just very common that we have more of bike riders getting people from junctions into the quarters.
Thank you for painting the situation of the road networks in the city of Douala and also into quarters. What I want to find out from you is if you've used the Babanda Babaju stretch of roads recently, what is the situation after reconstruction works were announced many years ago? Has it been any change?
I've actually used the Babaju, Bamenda stretch of road these days. I've used it and I'll be using it in a couple of days. But to say that at that level, there's some work that is being done. It's now making traffic a bit smoother than it used to be. But for some areas where maybe bridges are expected to be constructed, where work has not actually been completed, but to say that the road is what it used to be, I would say no. There is some development that the road has greatly improved. The minister actually was there just a few days back, and the expectations of the Bamenda population are that the road is done so fast to its completion, because the expected date is December this year, and that the roads too in Bamenda join in the bonanza of beautiful roads. So city dwellers have been going faster now on that lane. At first, people entered Bamenda around 11 o'clock from Douala or Yaoundé or Boya. But these days, 6 a.m., you get buses bumping into Bamenda, which means it's a bit smoother than it used to be. And it's important that the roads are done, because issues of insecurity too are very hardened on the population, mindful of the nature of the road. So if it's quickly done, faster to the deadline, I think it's very important. But so far, it's not as bad as it used to be. It was quite bad some years back.
And many persons expected this road project to be delivered and for circulation to be flexible. But the contractors on their part said the delay has been due to separatist menace. Do you accept this?
That separatist bad works to be done on the roads, Bamenda, Babaju, Bamenda road. Satom, the company, was given the contract initially, and they suffered bends on their caterpillar, their trucks and all the lights, so they became reticent with regards to doing the job. And so what government did was they had to contract local companies to get the job done, and it took some time, for a lot of education to be put out on the need for the separatists to understand that the job was necessary, for the region of the Northwest. Irrespective of the crisis, this was work to be done for the Northwest region. And I think with the fact that some companies are already doing the job, and so far they have been doing what we have seen on the Babaju road, it shows that there have been some level of understanding by those who actually did not think that the road should be done. So there is no more a lot to be talked about with regards to the fact that separatists do not want the work to be done. I think every other person who is a Bamenda child has accepted that there is need for roads to be done. After all, it's for Bamenda, it's for the region. So I think that argument is no longer holding. If contractors are still, or the local contractors who have been given the job are holding on to that, I think it's important for them to improve on communication and education and get to business for the job to be done, because holistically every other person, whether fighting, whether in conflict, whether in crisis or whatsoever, everybody accepts that there is need for our roads to be top, to be best. So I don't think that argument holds again.
And with the arrival of the Minister of Public Works, Emmanuel Ganu Jomesi, the contractors also told him that poor weather contributed to the delay of these works. Tell us, how true is that?
The minister even came to Bamenda. He had been to Bamenda before. Then the Prime Minister of the Republic of Cameroon was in Bamenda. All of them have spoken about the roads and promised that the construction work will be done. They even gave, time limits. But I think after the Prime Minister went back to Yaoundé, it seems as if they got to realize that there were so many issues that were up with the road as far as the sponsor, the World Bank, was concerned. They discovered that there were some persons whose property were destroyed in the process of expanding the road for construction. And of course, the Bamenda City Council had requested for additional dimension unlike what was previewed initially by the World Bank. And so these were some of the issues that actually caused the delay. And the Prime Minister must have understood this very well after quitting Bamenda back to Yaoundé, that there were so many other things still to be handled. And the Minister of Public Works have been holding, meetings in his ministerial department with the contractors and authorities of the region with regards to the road. And so his coming this time perhaps is because much has been put in place, some funds made available as he announced, as we can already see from the Babaju road. So his coming was actually a booster, and we just hope that he's going to push forth and make funds available, make controllers speed up their work and studies so that the work is done. Honestly, Babila, what a Bamenda man wants is the road. All the literature of the Prime Minister, Minister, whatsoever, World Bank studies and all whatsoever is not the interest of a Bamenda man after all these years in the challenges of using their road. They just want the road done. So I think the Minister understands that very well, and there are expectations that it will go better.
From you directly, are you convinced the minister's arrival will change the situation of the Matazim-Bamenda roads?
You and viewers of your TV program, I prefer to reserve my comments on the visit of the minister and his promises. I prefer to reserve my comments. I hope you spare me just this. I don't want to make any comment on that. Thank you.
And concerning the minister's visit, still, after the Prime Minister came to Bamenda, he promised the population that reconstruction works will begin and will certainly be realized. And now it was failure, and the Minister of Public Works, Emmanuel Garden Jomisi, is coming to make another promise. Are you convinced that these works will actually be realized in December?
Minister head of government came to Bamenda and spoke and left, and we were there to interview him as journalists. We spoke with the Prime Minister. We came on the air and assured the population that the roads were going to be done before the end of so many Decembers that have passed back, and we didn't get to that point. So if you ask me whether the Minister of Public Works has come coupled with the Prime Minister's visit, whether it's going to actually the works will meet the deadline this December, I prefer to say that I would not want to go again public to tell the population that the deadline will be met, that I trust, because we have said that before, and this can easily put our credibility at stake. So let all of us move to that December and appreciate whether the work is done or not. But sometimes the Prime Minister, the ministers could have good faith. Nobody knows what happens, so it's better we all move to December so that we are very sure what we're telling our population.
Just to ask you, what will actually change if the minister's promise comes true?
Minister's promise of December deadline comes true. The population will get more confidence in their government. That is the truth. But if it comes not to be true, that the roads are completed in December, the mistrust will not be there, will just continue because it's already there. People no longer trust, mindful of the many promises that have not actually developed to realization. So if finally the roads are done in December, the population will be happy. They'll increase confidence building in the government. But if it doesn't work out that way, then they just pick up the opposite of confidence, which is mistrust. That will not be you or my making. It would have just been the population appreciating how it ended.
And now, you earlier said that there is calm in Bamenda. Just to find out from you if this will encourage the contractors to move on with works, and hoping that they will not give another complaint if the works are not realized in December, that separatist menace actually halted the works.
Well, I said Bamenda is calm, but Bamenda can be calm with us who don't hear gunshots, who probably want to go to the market, want to go to our job sites, and want to see old people go to the hospitals. As to the contractors, it can be calm, but if they don't have the finances, then it is financially not calm on their side. If they don't have the technical know-how to complete the road, it is not calm on their side. If people who are in the corridors lobbying to have huge percentage are putting the things so difficult for them to take off because of personal interest left and right, then it's not calm on the part of the contractors. And if the weather too is not the best because it's very rainy now, they may still have their excuse. But our hope, all of us in Bamenda, our hope is to have good roads. Let anything be done, just give roads in Bamenda, people will be very happy.
Some people say works will stop immediately the minister leaves. Before you go, what do you think and advice you give to the minister?
Whether the minister, if he goes, the job will stop. I want to tell you, Babila, that I'm from Ndu. Those of us from Ndu, we speak Zimbum. That is the language we speak in our village because we had our parents as we grew up speaking Zimbum. So if people think the minister will go and work will stop, it's also because they have had the experience before that ministers have come and gone and the road did not continue as they promised. And you say, if I have a word for the minister, yes, I want to thank him for having come to Bamenda, thank him for having actually advised that the work should continue, and also urge the minister to put an eye that the work continues and even faster, because this would give government credibility. If not, why not?